So Cameron O'Connor, he's a eyewitness of the Old Main Bat Child.
Yep.
So tell us your story.
So when I was a freshman coming in, I remember on moving day, one of the O staff people were like, "Yo, so at Wofford, they were telling me all the crazy Wofford stories. They were like, yeah, so there's also this bat child on top of Old Main, right?" And so one of the first weekends, like me and a couple of my buddies from the O staff group were calling bullshit, right? Yeah. And so we go and we got super drunk and we go to the top of this Old Main bell tower to find this thing, right? And we can't find it. We're searching. We stay all night, right? And so one of us leaves our camera up there on the live feed all night. And then, so we didn't really see much, but we go through like 4 hours of footage, and in like 2 seconds of frame, we see this crazy figure, right? None of us know what it is. So we're like, all right, well, that was clearly something fishy. So we stake it out the next night, and we wait. And then so one of my buddies is up there, and then he's on the walkie-talkie, and we're listening, and suddenly his walkie goes dead, right? And we're like, oh man, what the fuck is going on? So we go up there, we got to investigate, and we see that he's not up there, dude. It's just his walkie. And he's hanging dead from the ceiling, Predator style, skin peeled off, and we're like, oh my God, we freak out naturally, right? I mean, what else would you do? So we go running down the stairs, dude, and behind us, all we can hear is this crazy, hypersonic shriek, dude. And we were just like, what the hell? And I've never been back up to the bell tower, dude. Too scary, man.
Wow.
Too scary.
Wow,
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
I know you told me not to cuss. You can edit around
yeah, we'll work around it. So what have you heard about the origins of the Bat Child of Old Main?
So they say, you know how bats have rabies, right? Well, way back in the day, bats the number one carrier of rabies, bro. Why don't you read a book? Way back in the day, Ben Wofford had this son, right? This illegitimate child, this bastard, if you will, to use the layman term and where it is not a curse word. So he had this little bastard child that he couldn't tell anybody about, right? Because he was a reverend or a pastor. I don't know. I haven't read the plaque in a while. But so he had this child that he couldn't tell anybody about, but it got bitten by this crazy rabid bat one time, right? And so it formed this bat child, but he has this affinity to his kid, right? I mean, that's still his kid. You can't just do away with it. So he built this college as a shell to house this bat child because he couldn't let anybody know he had this illegitimate bat child. I mean, he was a town reverend and a Civil War hero, I'm pretty sure. Even though that was for the wrong side. But whatever. So, that's the origin of the bat child, bro. And wow. He just lives here and he eats people and skins them Predator style.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your time, Cameron.
Yeah,
So Cam's testimony about the Bat Child really inspired us. So we're out here in front of Old Main setting up camp. We're gonna camp out here for the night and see if we can find him. All right. So it's about 1:15 in the morning, and we see some movement up in the bell tower over here. Don't know if y'all can see that, but there's some bats up there. That might be where he's hanging out, spawning some bats, and doing whatever bat children do.
Bat children, whatever.
All right, it's about 2 a.m. Jarrett and Jackson are asleep. It's been pretty quiet so far. Nothing much. Whoa, what's that? Some rustling behind me.
All right, so it's about 4:20 a.m. and we think we see a figure up on the steps of Old Main. I'll see if I can get a video for you. Zoom in. There's even some bat-like sounds. Is that it? Oh my God! All right, I gotta go investigate. All right, guys, we gotta go investigate this. Let's go. Oh, it's so far. No, y'all stay back and go look for clues around the building. I'll go find it.
It's January.
2017, 4:35 a.m. Jared went on a patrol, went to go see these stories are true. Top of the bell tower, Instagram live. It's still rolling, but he's nowhere to be found. He said he'd be right back, but as you can see, he's not here, but it's still going. I think the Bat Child has him. It's 5 o'clock. Me and Drew just hanging out. Jarrett's still missing. Not much around the campsite. Oh, it's Jarrett.
Oh my God! Unmask him! It's the Bat Child of Wofford. All right, so we are lucky to have the Bat Child in our presence. He's agreed to tell us his story, and we'll kind of get to the bottom of this urban legend. So, Mr. Bat Child, if you will, please tell us.
So it all started a few years ago. You know, I was grinding throughout high school, ball is life, you know, that kind of thing. And I was kind of leaning towards going to play for my boy, Coach Kurzowski. Who knows how to say his name, but I was going to go to Duke, you know, ball out a little bit, maybe play a couple years in the NBA, maybe even a little bit of European ball. Who knows? But that's kind of getting off topic. I was talking to my boy Bruce before I left home. You might know who he is. This is him.
Oh, yeah.
And after a little chat with him, you know, I found out my true calling was to come down to Spartanburg, South Carolina, you know, good old Wofford College. And, you know, there are a lot of kids that walk around this campus late at night, you know, Friday nights, Saturday nights, backpacks and everything. It looks like they're having some late night study sessions. I'm not sure what they're doing, but I figure if I can't be playing ball, I might at least play around with them a little bit. So I got a sleeping bag, you know, some warm clothes because it's January, and I just had some fun. You know?
So, Mr. Bat Child, just one more question for you, if you don't mind. Can you confirm or deny that you are the illegitimate child of Benjamin Wofford?
I mean, you go to Wofford, you must be a smart kid. I'm assuming you can tell that I don't look like 150 years old, so that would have to be a hard no to that one.
All right, with that information, we can confirm that this urban legend is
Debunked.